I'm Elle, and I apologize, I'm not going to be the perky individual I usually am this week.
Oh, good. I am the sus man, Rick Sussman, and I am officially afraid for my life once again. But the good news is you are watching the Read Pile.
It's the week of September 17th, and here's some comic book news you can use.
Okay. Big news. I know you're not feeling well. Big news. So, Avengers, a book we don't read, but is written by Jonathan Hickman, and I read many of his things.
Yeah.
Had a tagline on it this week that said, 8 months until time runs out. Now, you're not reading Avengers, so you don't know, but I've read some of it.
Yeah.
What's going on in Avengers and New Avengers is that the Earths from parallel Earths, like Earth, we are in the Marvel universe. For those of you playing at home, we are Earth 616. So that means there are a minimum of 616 Earths out there, or whatever. But in like Edge of Spider-Verse and things like that, books I'll be reviewing later. There are like Earth 9027, Earth 384. Anyway, and all of these different parallel Earths are all combining together and blowing up entire universes.
Yeah.
So, assumedly, what they mean by time runs out is our Earth is going to be done for. What we in the comic book industry think that may be is Marvel is about to, well, in 8 months, going to do a DC-style New 52-ish relaunch. What do you think about that?
I'd be okay with that. And I think more so because I'm not a Marvel reader. Because, here's the thing. Okay? When there's a reboot, just like when they did with DC...
I'm stroking my goatee in anticipation.
The thing is you pick up a lot of new readers. And specifically because you're restarting a storyline, you sometimes even have the opportunity to introduce new characters.
Bring back old ones, say, like the 8 months that this is going to take. I mean, Thor number 1, that's Girl Thor number 1 debuts next week.
Yeah.
Falcon as Captain America debuts in like 2 weeks. All of these major changes are starting now. You don't think maybe 8 months from now that might be like...
I think that this is going to be how they can fix things.
So you think,
if they need to.
Right.
They would still have the possibility. They'll be allowed to, keep and get rid of what they need to, and I think it would be a wonderful opportunity and perfect timing for them to do this, because there are a lot of things people are upset with. Like I said, I don't read it, but I do read things on the internet.
The internet.
Yeah, the internet. Who knew? But, you read these things, and there's so many major complaints from people that do and don't read comics. And they all have solid reasons. And then some people are just nuts. But that is the internet also. And they're going to have the opportunity, in 8 months, really know, okay, was this really a big issue? Do people end up loving this character now? Can we just keep her?
I think it's...
Whatever the case may be, they are going to be able to do whatever they need to and want to do. And they're going to get new readers. There's always a possibility with people like me. If you can spark my interest, here's the thing. I have no interest in reading anything Marvel because there's so much background. Now, if there's like a reboot and my brain is telling me, no, you really can hop on board with this. No, it's not just a new writer. Oh, we're gonna talk about the origin story, and then so yeah, you definitely hop on here. No, if there's a big reboot, it's clearly the perfect time to hop on board. When DC did their reboot, I hopped on.
Relaunch, it wasn't a reboot.
I call it a reboot because a lot of them kind of was like a reboot. But, I found myself reading a lot of things in the DC universe that I didn't know that I would really find an interest with. Some were quickly dropped and some I still read. But it opens the whole world for people, so.
Alright, well, good stuff. So you seem to be in a very chatty mood, I suppose.
Chatty, yeah.
Why don't we get you seated and review some comics?
Okay. time for some comic book reviews. Well, this was interesting. I'm going to start with Jim Henson's The Storyteller, Witches. Pretty interesting. It's for kids. It's clearly for kids. But it was a good read, even for adults. If you like Jim Henson, you love that world, you love the characters that are portrayed under that name, you'll enjoy this. But it's like a kid's nighttime story with a little trippiness to it. Even the way you read the pages, it's got a little trippy feel to it. It's twirled around, you gotta like read, and it's a journey. It's fun. It's nothing you're gonna take seriously. Like I said, it's a kid's story, obviously. It kind of reminds you of the stories maybe your grandmother or mom, dad, whatever, would read to you at night. So it was cute. You want something a little refreshing? I definitely recommend it. This is the first part of a 4-part, so it might be interesting to continue reading. I'm going to. But, good and bad, once again, we have another Futures End one-shot. Ew, look at that! Oh my god, did you see that? Did you see that? I don't know. Get your own. Wonder Woman. I have fallen in love with Wonder Woman all over again. It's fantastic. If you haven't been reading the series, whatever, I'm just gonna say it. She is the god of war. Okay? If you haven't been reading, you don't already know that. Sorry for you. But that continues in this one-shot, and it has a lot to do with this one-shot. It is fantastic. In the very end, I'm gonna have to read something I don't want to admit until the next time. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to read the very end, and I don't really want to admit it right now, but I will later. And if you read this and you see the last page, you know what I'm talking about, and don't judge me. But my pick of the week, of course, The Life After. Who could not enjoy a book that has Ernest Hemingway in it? Being the father figure, he is a badass. He is there to show this kid around. And who is this kid? Oh, you're going to get an idea of who he really is in this issue. It is amazing. Oh, yeah, and you meet God. No, it's not what you think. It's pretty funny. I've had a pretty crappy few days, and this lightened the mood for me. Thank you. So, pick of the week, yes. And there's a good chance that it's going to continue reading that way. I can't imagine this story going downhill. It's gotta only get better. But in the meantime, I guess we'll see what Rick has to say.
Alright, Elle, thank you for those reviews. We appreciate it, as always. A little bit more laid back this week because I had a lot of things I had to read. A lot. We're gonna do like we did last week, kids. We have a lot of weeklies now, even though we didn't want to sign up for weeklies. So we're gonna do one book that doesn't even get a graphic, and I already did a micro review for it. And you know what? I don't even want to bother doing a review for this because everybody else on the face of the planet has done a review for it. It's probably one of the most anticipated books of the last couple of months. It is Edge of Spider-Verse #2, featuring Gwen Stacy, the Spider-Woman. You see it? Good. It was fine. It was fine. If I'm honest, this set up more of a potential new storyline with this character, Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman. It really did nothing in terms of advancing the Edge of Spider-Verse storyline. I'm sorry, it didn't. It was well written, it was beautifully drawn, it was exquisite, but it did nothing to further the storyline. And because of that, I'm moving on. I talked about this on the Twitters. If you don't follow us, you should. At the Read Pile. Wicked and Divine. Let's see, we can do the whole screen here. There we go. See that? Nice cover. Doesn't match the one that I found online to post, but whatever, it's good enough. That is Wicked and Divine 4, and it was awesome! We are moving the storyline forward. Lucy, Lucifer, all those things. She's apparently had enough. She's a god. She might be the devil, and she lies, is what we're basically being told in this issue. And you know what? She is kind of done. She's been in jail for the last couple issues, as we know, potentially for a murder she didn't commit. Well, we believe she didn't commit it. And in this issue, she's just pretty much had it. She is no longer interested in being a team player. I'm going to leave it at that, because Karen Gillan is a good person, and you should go spend money to buy his comics. Let's move on, though, to a book that I thought was good, but also not my pick of the week. Oh wait, these are going to be covered. Trees. It's a magic number. And specifically, that magic number is issue 5. So another book that is finally really starting to move forward. We mentioned in our last review of Trees 4 that things were starting to get moving. Well, in this issue, they really start heading in a positive, well, positive's the wrong word, in a forward motion. Stuff is going down, and things are finally starting to happen. We're finally starting to see the benefit or lack thereof of these trees. It's pretty awesome. Warren Ellis is writing a good story, and I think if you like kind of kooky sci-fi, like end-of-the-world-y kind of stuff, or maybe if you're just a really big fan of like espionage books, you'd probably like Trees. Let's get to some meat and potatoes. Starting with the, for now, final, we're really final this time, issue of Superior Spider-Man number 33 specifically. This is the variant cover. As you can see, it's pretty awesome. I'm going to do a zoom in here. Look how cool that is. Look at all those different Spider-Mans. All of them. So, while the Gwen Stacy book that I reviewed quickly at the beginning of this video is very little pertaining to the Edge of Spider-Verse, this is everything pertaining to the Edge of Spider-Verse. It is so good. It's awesome. Dan Slott, like I need to tell you, is doing a fabulous job. But I want to show you something in particular that I think is really cool. And DC, you need to pay attention, because you watch my show. Down here on the bottom, you see this? This is a checklist. Look, it even shows you how to read the books. It shows you what order to read them in. I know a lot of friends of mine are trying desperately to read this really interesting storyline going on in DC called Doomed. Yeah, there's no checklist. It's like 7 mini-series of 4 issues. There's no mini-series. There's no numbers. It's impossible. That issue of Superior Spider-Man, though, was great, and I'm hoping this leads to maybe more Superior Spider-Man storyline stuff. He was missing from our time period for 24 hours or so. And as we all know for being Whovians, on this show anyway, 24 regular hours is literally an eternity. So the door is wide open for more superiorness. But it's time to, let's get the graphic up here. Graphic. Pick of the week stuff. Alright, that should be up by now. You ready? Because this one's kooky. Ray Fox has been doing a bang-up job in the Batman mythos for the Future's End books. He did Batman, he co-wrote that book with Scott Snyder, which was L's Pick of the Week last week. He did a book this week that is my Pick of the Week, and it is Batman and Robin, Future's End, number 1. Listen, here, look, you can see the good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy. This is what a comic book can be, folks. You want to know why I got into comics? You want to know why I started reading it? It's for books like this. Simple, direct, to the point, doesn't pussyfoot around, doesn't tiptoe, doesn't walk on eggshells. Boom, 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 awesome. And oh, by the way, spoiler alert, it introduces who will likely be the next Robin. So you probably should check it out. And that is why it is my pick of the week, because it's awesome and it's full of cool things. Okay,
You're still dancing? Yeah, so that's the repile this week.
You know what? I actually finally saw the original Boots and Cats video.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I told you about this or not.
Are you feeling that he didn't live up to?
No, I actually thought the little pig
Yeah.
on the commercial that he's doing Boots and Pants and Boots and Pants.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, screw that. I'm gonna do Boots and Cats because that's funny.
Yeah.
Turns out there was already a Boots and Cats video.
For real?
Yeah.
Huh.
So you didn't know that either, did you?
I didn't know that.
Ah! You know where else you could find good things? Look at this segue. You could find more of that and interesting things and other fun stuff on nerdupmedia.com. Nerdupmedia.com, still to this week, we are being partnered, sponsored, etc., with Mythicon. Mythicon, this is the last week that you can get tickets before it actually happens. It'll be this weekend, the 19th through the 21st, at the Doubletree here in steamy Orlando, Florida, right near SeaWorld to be exact. So the Doubletree by SeaWorld, we talked about how I can't even imagine, it's so cool, but Brock from Pokemon is going to be there. Brock. And I found out that Death from Soul Eater, the leader of the you know what, you gotta start watching some anime, okay? Yeah. Anyway, Mythicon, again, another week where I still haven't mastered the whole bringing in the logo thing, so, just make a hand motion.
I hope it's like on your face somehow. Like, no matter where you meant to set it, I hope it just like landed on your face.
I got it to digitize in last time, did you see that?
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I copied and pasted the old way. Anyway, specifically we want to thank Mythicon for being so awesome and putting Nerd Up Media all over their main page. We are actually seeing a very big increase in views and hits from them, so thank you very much, Mythicon. We hope you have a great con. I'm actually very jealous because our friends in Nerd Up Media, the Reasons That I'm Broke podcast, will be doing a report from Mythicon, so I can't wait to hear that. And you can find them and more, again, at nerdupmedia.com. Elle, is there someone you want to say thanks to specifically? Maybe, I don't know, Ray Fox, because he's written so many of the books and you haven't even said his name once.
Thank you.
See? That's what I do. I provide. And Gabbo for the art for Life After, and Josh, what is it, Joshua Hale? Oh, I can't remember his last name. But you never thank your writers like I do. You should. They appreciate it.
I mispronounce names and
You mispronounce repile.
I do. It's very awkward and I just like to avoid the situation.
Thanks for watching.
He's really upset now.
He's not that upset.
Yes, he is. This keeps flopping forward and cutting your head off. I can't get it to stay.
Also, that happened.